content. Okay, so let's start with the content here. The content in this slide, we will focus on 7 points. Okay, start from past simple, past perfect simple, affirmative and positive. Number 2 about past perfect simple, negative and questions. Number 3 about past perfect continuous with the positive form. Number 4 about past perfect continuous with negative and question. Number 5 about the use of past perfect simple. Number 6 about the use of past perfect continuous. And number 7 is about comparison between the two tenses, between the past perfect simple and past perfect continuous. How are they different and how are they the same? Okay, so now let's start with the point number 1, talking about the form of past perfect simple with positive form. Okay, so just keep in mind here, you must remember it. If you don't remember, you cannot do exercise well. Okay, I told you many times talking about the tense, you must remember the form and also the use. Okay, so the form here, subject plus head and plus verb 3 and plus complement, or we call object. That's okay. Okay, so let's say example here. Although she had considered postgraduate study at the end of the year, she decided to look for a job. Okay? So where is the past perfect simple based on the form here? Subject, right? She had is had, and then verb 3 is consider. And the complement here, postgraduate study. Okay, so the sentence she had considered postgraduate study here is called past perfect simple. Okay? And this one, she decided to look for a job. Okay, don't care about it because we will talk about it later. Okay? We will talk about it later. So this slide just only know the sentence that contain had and verb 3 is called past perfect simple. Okay? So here she had considered postgraduate study is called past simple. And number 2 here, by the time he arrived, the lecture had already started. So here, the lecture had already started is the past perfect simple. Okay, the lecture stands for the subject, and had is had, and verb 3 is started. Okay, so the lecture had already started is the past perfect simple in the positive form, or we call affirmative form. Okay, so let's go to the next one, talking about the form again, but this one with the negative and question. Okay, so here the negative form of past perfect simple, you just add the word not after the modal verb had, right? It becomes like this. He had done hike before. Okay, hike means climb. Okay, he had done climb before, or he had done hike before. Okay, so he is the subject, and then had not become had done, and then verb 3 hike, we add ed, right? Because it is a regular verb. And then complement. Okay, so and the question here, if you want to answer it, if you want to ask it yes no question, just put had in front of the question. It becomes had, subject, verb 3 and complement. So it's example this one, had you hiked before. Okay? Had you hiked before. Okay? And if you want to ask more information, you just add some WH question. Example this sentence, this question, where had you hiked before? Okay? Where had you hiked before? Okay, so that's it for past perfect simple. Let's move to the next one, talking about past perfect continuous. Okay, so with the past perfect continuous here, actually this one we combine the form together, right? I guess you know how to add the form together, right? So we have past perfect simple. Okay, we have past perfect, right? We have past perfect, subject plus had plus verb 3 plus object, right? And then we have past perfect continue, right? Past perfect continue. This one past perfect simple. This one past perfect continue, right? So we have, past perfect simple, and then plus past continue. Past continuous. So subject plus was over plus verb ing plus object. Okay, so when we combine these two together, it becomes, when we combine it, okay, let's see. So when we combine it together, it becomes what? When we combine these 10 together, it becomes the past still past, perfect still perfect, and then continue here, add one more continue, it becomes past perfect continuous. So the form, right, subject plus subject becomes subject, and then had here still had still had, and then was over, it means what was over come from to be, right? So the to be here with the verb 3, it becomes been, right?
Been.
To be with the verb 3 becomes been, and then still verb ing here, you just put verb ing, and then you plus with the last one is object. Okay, so it becomes subject plus had plus been plus verb ing plus object. So here subject plus had plus been plus verb ing plus complement or object. Okay, as you can see example, you had been wearing there for more than 2 hours when she finally arrived. Okay, so had been waiting is called past perfect continuous. Okay, this one as well. They had been talking for over an hour before Tony arrived. Okay, so had been talking is also past perfect continuous. Okay, so this is the positive form. Move to the negative form and question form. So the negative form is just like past perfect simple, right? Oh, this one should be past perfect continuous. Why do I write past perfect simple? Okay, I need to change it. Past perfect continuous. Oh my God, why? Okay, past perfect continuous. Okay, so past perfect continuous here. For negative form, you just add the word not. Okay, so you had not been waiting there for more than 2 hours when she finally arrived. It had not become had done, right? And if you want to add, if you want to ask the question, you just take the modal verb had here to the front of the sentence. It becomes a question. Okay, as you can see here, had, subject, been, and then verb ing, and then question mark. Okay? If you want to ask more information, just put how long or WA question. How long is also a kind of WA question, right? So here, how long had you been studying Turkey before you moved to Ankara? Okay? I had not been studying Turkey very long. Very long is about duration. Okay? So this is the form of past perfect simple and past perfect continuous. Okay, so let's move to the use. Okay, I need to go through. It because we already learned about it. I just revise for all of you again. Okay, so talking about the use of past perfect simple. I just want you to keep in mind that to talk about past perfect simple, it always has two past events. Okay? To make the past perfect simple, it always has two past events. That two past events here, one action or step occur means happen. Okay? One action or step occur before another action. Okay? And I just want you to mention that here, past perfect is the first one, and the past simple is the second one. As you can see example here. My girl called me this morning, but I wasn't there. I had gone to the meeting. You see, in this one we have two actions, right? One is called and one is gone. So which one happened first? And you can see here, I went to the meeting. He happened first, right? So because of this one happened first, we had to make it into past perfect. It became I had gone to the meeting. Okay, and then my girl called me this morning. Okay? So we have two actions here. So this is number one of the past perfect, and number two of the past perfect here. We said what? Sentences contain past time clause before, by the time, when, until, and after introduce the time clause. So keep in mind that when you see all these words, when you see all these words before, by the time, when, until, and after here, it always contains the past perfect. But it doesn't mean that when you see this word, they use the past perfect directly. No, right? Just keep in mind that it contains the past perfect, not used with past perfect. As you can see here, the word before I call, right? Not before I had called. Okay? So before here, you with past simple. But look at the sentence here. It contains the past perfect as well. You see? That's why I said when you see all these words, it's contained with the past perfect. Okay? So we have some form with this word to make you remember it. So let's go to the note here. So talking about the word before. Number one, talking about the word before. I may write it bigger. Okay, I may write it bigger. So with the word before, as we already learned, before plus what? Before plus past simple. Okay, before plus past simple, and then comma, we put past perfect. Okay, before past simple and then past perfect. Okay, example. Before she joined the Zoom, teacher had taught the lesson. You see? Before she joined the Zoom, teacher had taught the lesson. Okay? Before plus past simple and then in the comma, and then we put past perfect had taught. Okay? And number two, talking about the word after. Okay? With the word after plus past perfect, and then past simple. Okay. Past simple, I write like this, past simple. Okay. So example, after that that sentence again, I just want to use it after. So after teacher had taught the lesson, she joined the Zoom. You see? We do like that. Okay, number three, talking about the word, what else in here? We have the word by the time, right? So by the time. By the time. So keep in mind, by the time you use with past simple and then comma with the past perfect. Okay. So example, by the time she joined the Zoom, teacher had taught the lesson. Okay. And number four, with the word when, I will do it in the last one, until. Okay, until plus past simple. Okay, just remember this format. Okay, it's easy for you to do exercise. So until plus past simple and then comma past perfect. Past perfect. Okay, so example, until she what? Until she arrived, until she joined the Zoom, teacher had taught the lesson. Okay. And then number five, we talk about the words. What else? We have some more words. After already, until already. Okay. So we have some more words. Let's see the word as soon as. As soon as. Okay. So as soon as we plus with as soon as plus with past perfect. Okay, and then we plus with comma past simple. Okay, this one is just the form of you to remember it. Okay, so as soon as he, as soon as teacher had, as soon as teacher had taught the lesson, she joined the Zoom. She joined the Zoom. Okay, we have number six with the word because. Okay, because plus past perfect. Okay, because plus past perfect and then comma past simple. Okay, so example like because she had done review the lesson, what happened? She failed the exam. She failed the exam. Okay, this is with the word because. And number seven, we have the word when. Okay, actually when can have two meanings. Okay? When can have two meanings. One is before and one is after. Okay? So with here, before and after here, we can replace with the word when. Okay? I don't need to write down example here because here, after also we replace with when, and before also replace with when. But don't make you confused, because in the we usually use, don't make you confused. Okay, so it mostly use when with past simple. Okay, when with past simple and then comma past perfect. Okay, but we can also use when with the past perfect as well. Okay, that's okay. But the commonly use of it is when plus past simple. You can write common use of it. Okay, so I can say when she joined the Zoom, teacher had taught the lesson. Okay, so this is talking about the keywords of the past simple and past perfect. Okay, so now let's get back to the slide. I will screenshot this one and then I will send to the Telegram group for you. You can make note on it next time. Okay, so here let's continue. Okay, you can see the example. It's just like my example. So let's go to number 3 here. Point number 3 of the past perfect is here. The same adverb and preposition with the present perfect. Already, yet, still, ever, never, for, sin, and just. Okay. In present perfect, we use this word, right? But here in past perfect, we can also use this word as well. Okay. Example here. By lunchtime, we had already discussed. We hadn't returned the new vacation policy yet. I have lived in Texas for 12 years. You see, they use the word for, the word yet, the word already, just like in present perfect. Okay, why do we use this word? This expression have to clarify, okay, to express, to make it clearly, okay, of the past event. Okay, so next one, by here, talking about the word by plus the time can be used with the past perfect to express the later time in the sentence. Example here, we had finished by then. By noon, we had high to mark. Okay? By noon, I mean it's not in noon now, but by noon it means later noon. Later noon means what? Example like the noon is in 12 o'clock, but by noon is around 11 or 11:50 or 11:55. Okay, around 11. Okay, by noon. It's not in the noon, but it is before noon a little. Okay, so this one also uses past perfect. Okay, that's it for past perfect simple. Let's move to past perfect continuous. Just keep in mind that past perfect continuous and past perfect simple, the action is happened before the action in the past, the same. But the difference is that here, past perfect continuous is what? Ongoing and continue up. Okay, and continue up just before the second event. Here, Keiko had been studying all night. She was exhausted at breakfast. It is talking about the duration. It just want to show that the action in the past is ongoing. Okay, so I guess the time is up now. So I will stop share this one and then let's move to the next Zoom. Okay, so now come to the Zoom quickly because it is running out of time. Okay, so quickly.